So the dolls that you see right here are customized Barbies that I have made several years ago. And there's like 12, 13, I'm not exactly sure how many there are right now. But I was going through some boxes and I found them and pulled them out, and I put them on certain doll stands for the ones that I could find stands for. And I was looking at them, and I was thinking to myself, at the time when I had this doll, and I did this, thing to her and everything, I didn't realize that I was a doll customizer. And every time when I cut a doll's hair and colored it, or pierced its ears, or, glued on something to it, or something like that, whatever I did to change it, I was always told, you're destroying the value of the doll. And I would think, I'm like, okay, this is not the only doll in existence. There were like 50 of them on the shelf when I got this one. There's 1,000 of them all around town. There's 10,000 of them around, the country. So it's like, what I'm doing to it is actually making it unique and one of a kind and different from all the others that it was originally like. So, part of the boob hanging out there. So I thought, you know what, I'm, making these dolls for me the way I want, because I got tired of ballerinas and princesses and fairies, even though I do like all those things. I do love ballerinas. I actually have a collection of little porcelain ballerina dolls that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. But when Barbie was just nothing but pink this and that, and only being made in a few certain lines like the princesses of the world, or rock stars, and the Fairytopia stuff, after a while you just get tired of it all, which is why I stopped collecting for a while, got rid of my collection, started collecting Bratz, donated that collection, and then went back to collecting Barbie when a few certain cool dolls came out. But I've always collected the Bagoth dolls because they spoke to me on a level that at the time I knew that I was different. I didn't really fit in with a lot of the cliques in school. I had a few friends here and there, like, I had one preppy friend, and she had her preppy friends, but I didn't hang out with her preppy friends with her. I would only hang out with her and, private kind of thing, or, I had other friends that were, like, the chess club, and after lunch we would go and play chess and everything, but it was, it's just, I fit in, but then I didn't. And so when it came to trying to find a doll that I wanted, Barbie was a template, and some of them were really pretty and stood out, and I kept them that way, but others were a dime a dozen to me, and I would customize them. So I decided, now that I have found my customized collection, that I will start reviewing them for you. Now, obviously, if I did every single doll right now, this video would probably be half an hour long, because I would end up going into all the details. I don't actually I'm not really great at sewing, so it's like, dresses like these, I added things to them, but then I would sew it so the dress stays on the doll. So there's like lots of little changes. And then there are some dolls where they really got a makeover. This actually is a real feathered wing on wire. So it's like this definitely needs its own reviewing video, because there was a lot of work that went into that. And then there are some where I made things that I just couldn't find in stores. And I'm a Sagittarius, so my zodiac sign has always been the Centaur. So I went ahead and I made one. And then there are simple customizing I did where I actually just, this was a Scary Spice doll that a kid gave to me. Her hair was already cut off. So I made the outfit that she's wearing, but I sewed it like onto her so it can't come off. And so it's like there's simple customizations, there's some kind of crappy ones, and then there's the extensive ones. So I will start a series of videos, probably with maybe 2 to 3 dolls each, depending on the level, the length that I have to go into describing them. And since there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 actually, it could take a it could take a week to make all these videos. It could take a while. But anyway, yeah, it's only until just, a few years back that I actually realized that doll customization was a thing, that I wasn't the only one that was doing it. And I would just love to go back in time and to the moment where someone is telling me, you're destroying the value of that doll by doing this or whatever, and just be like, ha! I told you so! Even though I only make them for me and I don't sell them on Etsy and I don't, make it my bread and butter, there are people that do, and they do it very well. I mean, there's things that they've made that inspire me, and I'm like, oh my god, so, just, I'm so happy that actually I'm not the only one, and I'm really glad that it has caught on to actually become not completely mainstream, but it has its own following. And sure, I mean, it'd be easier to paint on an Ever After High and Monster High because they have larger heads. Barbie dolls have smaller heads, which means smaller details and harder work and everything. But the things that I have seen that people have done is amazing, and especially when they take a celebrity doll and they make it actually look like the celebrity. And it's like, geez, Mattel, why couldn't you do that in the first place? So, I mean, kudos to them. And as I try to conclude this video, I just when I'm gonna share these dolls, you have to realize I was a teenager, as a kid, and so some of them are not going to be very good, and I would really appreciate it if people just keep the opinion of, hey, that looks like shit, to yourself, because I obviously know that wrapping a doll's body in, duct tape and then drawing on its face and putting nail polish on it is, crap standards, but it was still how I began. And it takes a lot of kind of courage to share something like that, so I'm actually kind of nervous about sharing these, because there's somewhere I look at them and I'm like, oh god, I know I could do better. But I have to realize, I was 15 when I did that, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And now, then there are some dolls, obviously with the Centaur one, where it's I kind of pat myself on the back because that turned out really well. So if everyone could just be gentle when giving your opinions about what I will show you. Okay, that's all. I appreciate it. Thank you.